2025, I would like to welcome parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends. Tonight we recognize and honor members of this class with academic awards, scholarships, and ultimately their high school diplomas. As we begin moving through our farewell to the class of 2025, I would also like to honor two individuals who have impacted most, if not all, of the graduates in some way. I want to thank Superintendent Bonnie Levesque for her 20 years of service to the district. She is retiring on June 30th. I would also like to thank Al Manziano for his 38 years of service to the district. He is retiring on June 13th. We'd like to wish both of these educators well in this next chapter of their lives. Mrs. Levesque and Mr. Manziano, please stand. The office of class president is one of numerous responsibilities and requires much time and dedication. It is our wish to recognize this individual as a dedicated leader. The class president of the class of 2025 is Ethan Linkletter.
So I tried to make the speech funny, so please laugh. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the graduation of the class of 2025. Thank you to Brianna Hagopian for playing our marching song. Thank you to Camry for making the wonderful sign-up video you're all going to see later. Thank you for the teachers for teaching us for the last 4 years. Thank you to Ms. Brewer for sending me my transcript for a scholarship at 11 p.m. You really take much. And thank you to the parents for raising us, and most importantly, I want to thank God for providing me with this amazing opportunity to speak in front of all of you. Every morning before school, I say the Pledge of Allegiance, and before that, I say, good morning, my Madison Bulldogs. And this had me wondering, what is a Madison Bulldog? I mean, how could I answer this question? Look at our class, we're as weird as it gets. And oddly enough, the pinnacle of this weirdness is speaking to you right now. At Athens, I gave a welcome speech for our graduation. And personally, I loved it, but my parents thought otherwise. In fact, they both asked me separately if I needed help writing my speech because they were scared that I was going to be back here. In that speech, I said I was a narcissistic 14-year-old boy who plays Minecraft all day. However, I've grown a lot since then, and now I've evolved into a narcissistic 18-year-old boy who plays Minecraft all day. Huh, maybe this is why women are scared of me. Madison Bulldogs also come in different ages. Towards the end of basketball season, I had accumulated somewhat of a fan club in the 5th and 6th graders. For our playoff preliminary game, they made posters for us, and almost every single one of them wanted to make a poster for me. At the forefront of this was Jax Kendall. I went to one of their rec games, and Jax's girlfriend was there too. But after they won, Jax ran over to me, not his girlfriend. However, this still doesn't answer the question. You know what, I'm going to take a break from finding an answer, and instead, I'd like to tell you a quote from my little cousin Claire Hayne. My mom's side of the family loves to all play board games together. In fact, I remember playing Trouble with my grandmother, only for her to absolutely destroy me and make me cry. She's a sweet woman, but don't mess with her when playing board games. During a game of sequence, me and my teammate Claire were losing by quite a lot, and I was complaining that the game was rigged and the other team cheated, and they were. But Claire turns to me and says, just because the garlic bread is burned doesn't mean the spaghetti will be bad too. To me, this can be extended into life, saying that one bad decision doesn't mean your life will be good. Wait, this is it. I understand what the Madison Bulldog is now. We're a family. That's why we say dogs on 3, family on 6 after basketball games. It's because they're the same thing. We, the class of 2025, are part of a large family of Madison Bulldogs, all weirdly unique, but possess this shared characteristic. And though this may be our last time together, graduating does not mean we're disowned forever, because once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. We are the class of 2025, and I want to thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Ethan. Presidential Academic Achievement Awards are awarded to students who have maintained a 90 GPA BA and above for all 4 years. As I read your name, please stand. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Reagan Cowan, Ella Haney, Mackenzie Robbins, Ethan Linkletter, Allison Tuscan, Austin Mercier, Aurora Norsworthy, Leila Dunphy, J.C. Moody, Nathan Cornforth, Wyatt Poisoner, Michael Corley, Allie Drury, Marcus Mercier, Carmen Young, Brianna Scott, Sibel Pinkham, Jason Almeida, Victor Poisoner, Xavier Estes, Brian Donnelly, Noah Lacaraza, Camry Hodgson, Aiden Cloutier, Lily Taylor, Lawrence Susi. The following seniors are graduating today with honors. They maintained a grade average from 85 to 92. As I read your name, please stand. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Brian Donnelly, Sibel Pinkham, Victor Poisoner, Noah Lacaraza, Aiden Cloutier, Xavier Estes, Camry Hodgson, Lily Taylor, Lawrence Susi, James Barnes, Brady Lavasser, Garrett Doobie, William Wheeler III, Mackenzie Swihart, Aaron Rogers, Elizabeth Kelly. The following seniors are graduating today with high honors. They maintained a grade average of 93 or better. As I read your name, please stand. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Ella Haney, Ethan Linkletter, Mackenzie Robbins, Reagan Cowan, Allison Tuscan, Aurora Norsworthy, Austin Mercier, Leila Dunphy, J.C. Moody, Nathan Cornforth, Carmen Young, Wyatt Poisoner, Allie Drury, Brianna Scott, Michael Corley, Marcus Mercier, Jason Almeida. Now I'd like to list off the students who graduated with the top 10 honors in their class. Mackenzie Robbins, Reagan Cowan, Allison Tuscan, Aurora Norsworthy, Leila Dunphy, J.C. Moody, Nathan Cornforth, Carmen Young, our salutatorian for the class of 2025, Ethan Linkletter, our valedictorian for the class of 2025, Ella Haney. Each year, the Maine Principals Association recognizes a student across the state in each school in areas of academic achievement and citizenship. It pleases me to announce this year's recipient as Ella Haney. The following awards are based on outstanding academic achievement for 4 years in each content area. As I read your name, please stand. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Science, Aurora Norsworthy. History, Ella Haney. English, Reagan Cowan. Math, Ethan Linkletter. Art, Carmen Young. Industrial Technology, Xavier Estes. Business Technology, Ella Haney. The following awards are to the students who have achieved a 4-year varsity letter. As I read your name, please stand. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Football and baseball, Xavier Estes. Girls basketball, soccer and softball, Mackenzie Robbins. Soccer and girls basketball, Reagan Cowan. Soccer and girls basketball, Ella Haney. Boys track and field, Nathan Hornforth. Boys tennis, Ethan Linkletter. Now I would like to introduce Jack Ducharme, State Representative, to present legislative sentiments.
Good evening. One of the best things that we have to do as legislators is to be able to honor students and people in our districts that do special things. And so tonight, I have the honor of presenting several legislative sentiments. First off, the legislative sentiment for salutatorian goes to Ethan Linkletter, and I'll read it. The sentiment says, "Be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate and House of Representatives, join in recognizing Ethan Linkletter of Athens, who has earned the distinction of being named salutatorian of the 2025 graduating class of Madison Senior High School. We extend our congratulations and best wishes, and be it ordered that this official expression of sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the 132nd Legislature and the people of the state of Maine." It's signed by all of the President of the Senate, Speaker of the House, Secretary of the Senate, Clerk of the House. And this sentiment is sponsored by Senator Farron, Senator Black, Representative Caruso, and myself. And the next individual is Ella Haney. Ella will come down. I actually have two for her. I'm not going to read the second one. The first one I'm going to read. The second one is a sentiment in honor of the Principals Award for the Maine Principals Association for Outstanding Scholarship, which President Keynote just spoke about. So I'm going to read the valedictorian. Be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate, House of Representatives, join in recognizing Ella Haney of Emden, who has earned the distinction of being named valedictorian of the 2025 graduating class of Madison Senior High School. We extend our congratulations and best wishes, and be it ordered that this official sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the 132nd Legislature and the people of the state of Maine, signed by the officers of the legislature and sponsored by the state.
Good evening. Thank you to our friends, family, and community members for joining us here today to celebrate the class of 2025. When we were asked to choose someone to speak on our behalf tonight, the answer was clear. There is no one more fitting than Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell started working in education 42 years ago, starting as a teacher in 1983. He then became a teaching principal in 1999, and in 2010 he moved to MES as a shared principal at Athens Elementary School for 1 year. After that, He became the full-time principal at MES, a position he has held until the 2025 school year. This year was extremely special for him as he is closing this chapter of his life and he will begin his journey into retirement. I want to take this opportunity to thank him for the dedication he has shown to his community and the impact he has had on his students. I have had the privilege to get to know him on a deeper level through my classes in the early education teaching program at MES. There, he is known for his infectious smile that could brighten anyone's day. While I was gathering information for this introduction, a staff member approached me to tell me a story this took out. When Mr. Mitchell greets his students in the morning, he says good morning to everyone who walks into the building. They also shared that if a child is having a tough morning, Mr. Mitchell will race them down the hallway just to bring a smile to their face before they begin their day. During a kindergarten recess, I asked some current students what is one word they would use to describe Mr. Mitchell. I heard repeated compliments like happy, nice, kind, and the best. And as most people know, these compliments are not given lightly, and kindergartners will always take an opportunity to be brutally honest. The next question I asked these students was, what was their best memory of Mr. Mitchell? One student said, it makes me happy when he sits with me. These feelings of safety and security are embedded in every one of his students. One student even told me he had principal powers and that I couldn't know what they were because it was a secret. However, I believe I figured it out. His powers lie in his ability to create a welcoming space for all students and faculty. Lastly, when I asked these students what is one thing you would want to say to Mr. Mitchell, one student replied, thank you for keeping us safe. And I have to agree. Thank you for keeping us safe by teaching us what it meant to be loved, to be guided, and to have fun. At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Mitchell to the stage to offer us one final piece of wisdom as we, the class of 2025, close this chapter of our lives.
I cried at the boys the other night. I just cried. Reagan, thank you. Before we start, I do want to apologize. I'm sorry Tom Brady couldn't be here tonight. Steven Spielberg was on location. Sabrina Carpenter's in concert. He got ready, okay? So, but in all seriousness, I am honored and humbled to be here tonight. It's been a long journey. What a way to end it. It seemed like just a couple months ago, maybe, Ethan and Reagan cornered me by the office and asked me to do this. And I said, sure, you know, I was on it, it was great. And Reagan had said some very important words at that point. She said, well, you know us. That's why we want you to do it. Now my head's even bigger, like boom, you know. And I skip out to the parking lot, and I get to my truck, and I get in that truck, and then reality hits. I gotta come up with something to say, hey, this isn't just showing up in the audience, I gotta make a speech. So that panic is a cloud over my head for a couple of weeks. But then, boom, I go back to the words that Reagan shared about, you know us. So I thought, okay, let me do this. I'm going to break my rambling up tonight into two pieces here. I'm going to make something personal, start with some personal stuff, and then I'll finish with the obligatory words of wisdom. That's kind of a joke. I don't know if I have any wisdom, but I'll say some things. So I want to begin, and I warned you guys this morning, remember, okay, to dust off the memory banks. I'm going to turn my back on some of you. To dust off your memory banks and go back when you're in elementary school and think about it. So I'm going to ask some questions, and I want you to be honest, like you always have been. And these are just raising your hand. I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, okay? First, I'm going to do a demographic thing here. How many of you here never went to Madison Elementary School? And, okay, I stop Mitchell. Pleased to meet you. Madison Elementary School, okay? Good, glad to have you. How many of you maybe didn't start in pre-K or K, but maybe came in first, second, third grade? Raise your hand up. Raise it right up there, okay? Good. And how many of you started in pre-K or K and stayed the whole 4 years? I had you were there for 6 or so years. Raise your hand real high. Okay, keep them up, because this next question is important. For those of you with your hands up, who were there from pre-K, K to 4, Please point at your favorite elementary school principal right now. There's only one, but that's okay. I didn't tell you this is self-serving tonight. I didn't tell you this is all about me right now. Anyway, here's some big questions. Whoever had to go to the office for being just a little naughty? Who had to go to the office for being very naughty? Full disclosure, moms and dads, right there. Full disclosure. Do not ground them. It's over. It's past. It's past. Oh, by the same token, who came to the office once in a while for lunch or to say, just hang out and talk? See, okay, good. Put those hands up there, come on. And who felt that gym was their favorite class all the time? Who thought gym was the best thing in the world? Okay, that hasn't changed. Still is. Still is. Okay, thank you for your candor. I appreciate that. So listen, a couple of generalizations I'm going to make now. This isn't working. I have here the generosity of Mrs. Knox. This is my study guide for this. This is a copy of all of their little thumbnails and senior pictures. And I love reading this. Every year I love the yearbook, and I like to go through that. And I came up with some generalizations here. And if you've seen it, you may concur with me. You know, looking at the quotes, for instance, there's a lot of humor in your quotes. I love them. A lot of spirituality, a lot of quotes from Scripture, and that's pretty powerful. But wow, songs, music. You guys quote a lot. Who's this Zach Bryan guy? Anyway, is he a country guy? Is that what he is? Okay, I don't know. I'll have to check that out at some point. Your involvement, your classroom and school involvement over the 4 years. Athletics, athletics, athletics. This is a very athletic group. You were back in elementary school. At recess time, you guys were out playing kickball, basketball, football, until I took the football away. And you're still banned from playing football on the playground, so don't even think about it. Ask the new principal, he might let you. Actors, drama club, great stuff. And gaming club, where was this when I was a kid? Well, we didn't have any technology, everything was black and white. Fortnite, play Fortnite? Say gaming club, did you, anybody? Okay, you can't tell me, can you? Yeah, we had gaming club when I was in high school, it was called chess club. Freshman year, I was in the chess club. Never did a match. Attendance, lack thereof, was a problem, and I was terrible, so it didn't happen. But I did get in the yearbook my freshman year, and that was wonderful. Lost that paper. Hey, in careers, finally aspirations. A lot of you are looking at college, and I'm so impressed with the number of you who are looking at the medical field and the field of education. I'm a bit biased there. But those are important occupations, and that you're working with people, right? You're looking at your compassion. You have to have compassion, and you have to have interpersonal skills. You guys have interpersonal skills. I know that for a fact. That's great. We have engineers up here, and they're the doers, they're the builders, they're the problem solvers. Some are going to go right into the trades. That's wonderful. The jobs are ready. We need you. So get in there, welders, plumbers. Let's do this. Some of you are going right into the workforce, and the jobs are there for you, so have that. And some of you haven't decided what you want to do yet, that's fine too. It takes time, it's a marathon, it's not a race. And there are some people out there just need to take that time, and you're looking at it right now. So those decisions will happen. So again, this is a very diverse group behind me, and it's just incredible how all independent and diverse they are. Okay, here we go. Part 2. Words of wisdom. This is something I've been dealing with. I tried to come up with something not too cliche. But this is something I've dealt with for the last 15 years. It's been kind of a crusade I've been on to some degree. And it happened about this time 15 years ago, 16 years ago, my last year at Athens Elementary School. And it was a great promotion night. school, you know, I go up and do my 2 or 3 minutes and say my words. And I'm sitting there in the audience, and they've called me up, and it's my time. And this wonderful mother sitting next to me, as I get up, grabs my hand with both of hers, and looks up at me and says, Mr. Mitchell, inspire us. And I look at her and I say, I'll do my best. So I go down to the stage, and boom, it hit me like a rock. Inspire, inspiration, what is that all about? I can't inspire anybody, I don't even know. And next thing I know, I'm standing here at the podium staring at me. And then I kicked in and did my couple minutes. But it stuck with me. It stuck with me all night, the whole next day. 15 years later, inspiration, inspire. I decided I'm gonna look at it. What inspires me? What is inspiration? Well, you define inspiration as what motivates you, right? We all have something like that. Somebody inspires us all. Motivation, you admire it. It moves you emotionally. And there are things that inspire us, right? So it's art, literature, movies. I was probably a movie Redemption, Resilience, and music. Music to me is a huge inspiration to me in many cases. I think it is probably with most of you behind me, most of you grads. I mean, on my phone I have a Spotify playlist of songs I call it Move Me. And these are songs that I listen to when I'm kind of down or when I'm really feeling good, and they keep me up there. They make me buoyant, if I may. So, and this is stuff you may already have, but people make those. People make the art and the music and write the books. So what I want to focus on here is who inspires you? And that's the question I have for you guys tonight. Who inspires you? Look, we think of inspiration, we think of Martin Luther King, JFK, and their great speeches. And these stable mountains, they've galvanized people for a cause. And there's so many of those icons out there. And there's one in particular for me, and I want to share it with you. You may already know this man. It's a guy named Jim Valvano. And I know some of you know Jim Valvano, and you've heard of him. He was a great NCAA basketball coach, NC State, won a dramatic championship in playoffs. It was an inspirational story in itself. Very vibrant, charismatic man. Stricken with cancer very shortly thereafter. And I'm watching the ESPYs one night, and that's through ESPN, and it's an award show. And he was to be given the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. Now, I understand he's very stricken with cancer and operable at this time. But he goes up and he gives one of the greatest speeches I've ever heard. The Don't Give Up speech. And he talks about every day you need to laugh, think, and cry. And there's a lot more to it. But I didn't tell you guys I was going to give you a couple homework assignments before you leave here tonight. And this is one of them. If you get a chance, you will Google Jim Valvano's speech. And it will be something that you can hold on to. It'll motivate you. Okay? And I use it, you know, when I'm feeling down, you know, pitying myself one of those days, nothing's going right. I usually go down into my little office in the cellar, looking at my wife right now. My little office in the cellar, and hide and listen to that. And it makes you feel so much better. It just picks you up. And I think some of you here know what I'm talking about. So that's your first homework assignment. Your second one's coming right out. There's two. I want them in by Friday. But these guys I'm talking about are there. They're nationally, globally known. But in your own community, your own family, you have those who inspire you. You wouldn't be sitting here if you didn't. Those are your parents, possibly, right? My parents inspired me. It could be family members. One of my greatest inspirations is sitting right there. And that guy too. And his sister who's not here. And they're out there. In your community, in your personal bubble, there are those who inspire you, okay? So your assignment is to identify them and acknowledge them. Think about that, okay? Think about who inspires you in your life. But just don't let it sit there in your head. Approach them, tell them that they inspire you and why. It could be coaches, it could be teachers. Let them know. I have a teacher that inspired me. I'm a teacher because of him. He's an 8th grade teacher. He's about 3,000 feet tall, married man, lovely, gentle guy, and I lived for the words he spoke. And I still see him around. He's in his late 70s, 80. He doesn't talk about that. But he's a dear friend, and every time I meet him, and I've told him how much he's inspired me in my lifetime. Every time I see him, and we part ways, I say, Jim, you inspire me. Yeah, you inspire me. And he says, you inspire me. So it's a powerful piece right there, okay? And I would extend that invitation out to everybody. Find your inspiration, who they are, and let them know. Closing's a hard thing to do. I don't know quite what to do, but I'm going to ask you guys for some favors, okay? I'm always asking. Here we go, favors. I said earlier that you're a diverse group. We're all different in this world, and the word diversity is an important word. Please don't lose that in your vocabulary. Keep that in your vocabulary, please. Number 2, continue to be kind to everybody. Number 3, please be safe, especially this weekend. Be safe, okay? And 4, have a blast. Enjoy this night. Enjoy this weekend. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you. Thank you.
The following awards are presented at Somerset Career Technical Center graduation ceremonies. As you read your name, please stand. Reagan County. Skowhegan Chamber of Commerce, $1,000. And Skowhegan Madison Elks for $500. Xavier Estes. SCTC Scholarship for $320. Robbins. Remington Fairview Scholarship for $1,000. The Senator George J. Mitchell Scholarship Research Institute awards scholarships each year to graduating seniors from every community in Maine. The scholarship amount is $10,000. This year, there were more than 1,600 applications from across the state, resulting in a highly competitive selection process. In honor of Weston Bonney, a former member of the Maine State Board of Education, the Mitchell Institute recognizes students who have demonstrated exceptional resilience in overcoming adversity as Bonnie Mitchell Scholars. This generous gift allows Bonnie Mitchell Scholars to access additional programs, resources, and support. This year, Madison Junior Senior High School proudly had 2 recipients of the Mitchell Scholarship, both awarded $10,000. As I read your name, please stand. Brian Donnelly and Aurora Northworthy. I am honored to represent the Worthington Scholarship Foundation in naming the 2025 recipients of the Worthington Scholarship. This year, the Worthington Scholarship Foundation will award 1,000 scholarships made available to students from every public high school in Maine. The foundation aims to increase the accessibility of higher education, reducing financial barriers, and providing support for scholars to persist and graduate college. Each scholarship recipient receives up to $20,000 to be used 6 years to attend their choice of the foundation's 24 college partners, consisting of Maine's community, public, and private colleges. In total, Worthington will commit $20 million to this year's recipients. Through applying for this scholarship, students have demonstrated a motivation to achieve success in higher education, and the foundation believes these young adults will be vital contributors to the Maine's economic future. The Worthington Scholarship Foundation is proud to partner with Madison Junior Senior High School and congratulate this year's graduates. The Worthington Scholarship winners are Jason Almeida, Brian Donnelly, Leila Dunphy, Ethan Linkletter, Aurora Northworthy, Victor Poisner, Carmen Young, and Avea Piskowski. There are many other scholarships to award this evening. Some are selected by the high school scholarship committee, but the majority are selected by gifting organizations. Students were required to submit an application for these scholarships. As I read your name, please stand. Scholarships are grouped by name, so please hold your applause until each student's scholarships are announced. Jason Almeida, the Madison Business Alliance for $500, and the Bruce Lee Memorial Scholarship for $5,000 for 2 years. The Madison High School Class of 1965 Scholarship in memory of David Campbell for $500 and the R.H. Rennie Scholarship for $1,000. Nathan Cornford, the Bruce Lee Memorial Scholarship for $5,000 for 2 years and the Sappy Scholarship for $500. Lions Club Scholarship for $1,000, the Bruce Lee Memorial Scholarship for $5,000 for 2 years, the Madison Kiwanis Club Scholarship for $500, the MAEA Thomas J. Elias Scholarship for $100, the Mountain Valley Conference Scholarship for $100, the Minerva Chapter of the Eastern Star Scholarship for $200. Scholarship for $1,500. Allie Drury. The Stephen Elbert and Hazel Daggett Scholarship for $2,600. Garrett Newby. The Stark Seed Scholarship for $200. The Reginald A. and Aaron S. Rollins Scholarship for $500. Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship for $2,500 for 2 years. Leila Duffy. The Stephen Elbert Hazel Daggett Scholarship for $2,860. The Wilma Billy Stevens Memorial Scholarship for $500. The Kathy Buzzell Memorial Scholarship for $500. And the NAEA Shirley Field Stewart Scholarship for $100. R.H. Rennie Scholarship for $1,000. Ella Haney. The R.H. Rennie Scholarship for $1,000. The Carter Belanger American Legion Post 39 Auxiliary Scholarship for $200. The Sons of American Legion Post 39 Edward and Clyde Whitney Memorial Scholarship for $250. The Arthur and Bertha Savoy Scholarship for $2,500 for the Alex Richards Scholarship, $500. The Franklin Savings Bank Scholarship, $1,500. And the Madison High School Class of 1960 Scholarship, $100. Camry Hodgson. The Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship, $2,500 for 2 years. Elizabeth Kelly. The Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship, $2,500 for 2 years. Brady Lavasser. The Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship for $1,000. Ethan Linkletter. The Reginald A. and Aaron S. Rollins Scholarship for $500. The Bruce Lee Memorial Scholarship, $5,000 for 2 years. The Madison High School Class of 1960 Scholarship, $100. The Madison High School Class of 1974 Scholarship, $550. The Somerset Academy Scholarship, $1,500. J.C. Moody. The Carter Belanger American Legion Post 39 Auxiliary Scholarship, $200. The Sons of the American Legion Post 39 Edward and Clyde the RFGH Daniel Salisbury Memorial Scholarship for $1,000, the Arthur and Bertha Savoy Scholarship for $2,500 for 4 years, and the VFW Harville Bishop Post 7865 Scholarship for $500. The Madison Historical Society Scholarship for $100. Victor Poisner. The Arthur and Bertha Savoy Scholarship, $2,500 for 4 years. The MSAD 59 Board of Directors Scholarship, $200. And the Melmac Scholarship for $2,000. Mackenzie Robbins. The RFGH William Gilbert Memorial Scholarship for $3,000. The Arthur and Bertha Savoy Scholarship, $2,500 for 4 years. The Madison High School Class of 1960 Scholarship, $100. And the American Legion Post 39 Corporal Joseph Currian Captain T. Matthews Memorial Scholarship for $500. Aaron Rogers. The Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship for $1,000. Brianna Scott. The Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship, $2,500 for 2 years. Mackenzie Swihart. The Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship, $2,500 for 2 years. Allison Tuscan. The Madison Business Alliance Scholarship for $500. The Norris and Lucy Preble Scholarship, $2,500 for 2 years. The G.B. Jacobs Scholarship for $900. And the Madison High School Class of 1960 Scholarship for $100. The total of scholarships awarded this evening is nearly $363,000. We appreciate and thank the many businesses. Oh, my apologies, one more student. I forgot. Carmen Young. The Arthur and Bertha Savoy Scholarship, $2,500 for 4 years. The Madison Kiwanis Club Scholarship, $500. And the MAEA Paul Daigle Memorial Scholarship, $100. We appreciate and thank the many businesses, organizations, and service clubs for providing our students with these scholarships year after year. Alexandra Louise Duncan. Quinn Judith Gerloff. Lily May Taylor. Sibel Leanne Pingle. Xavier Star Shalinsky. Camry Ann Hodgson. Reagan Nicole Cowan. Abea May Disgusting. Xavier Stephen Estes. Spencer Scott Richard. Brady James Lavasser. Marcus Luke Mercier. JC Louise Moody. Mackenzie Grace Squire. Charles Raymond Davis Jr. James John Barnes. Brianna May Scott. Ella Sophia Amy. Elizabeth Sarah Kelly. Allison Maria Huskin. Victor Icarus Poisner. Tyler Jacob Johnson. Aiden J. Coulier. William Carl Wheeler III. Noah Brian Laparasa. Lawrence Taylor Susie. Aurora Norsworthy. Mackenzie Reagan Robbins. Carmen Sharia Faith Young. Aaron Michael Rogers. Wyatt Joseph Poisner. Garrett John Dewey. Marcus Xavier Weber. Ethan James Linkletter. Nathan James Hornborn.
Lyndon Donnelly. Michael Ryan Corley.
Good evening. Public speaking is very intimidating, especially when Ethan speaks before you. His speeches are filled with jokes and he seems so confident. However, I have just one criticism. Ethan, you can make all the jokes you want, you just can't be first in the class. I'm only joking. It was payback for his 8th grade speech. However, Ethan said it himself. The best jokes have some truth in them. On behalf of the class of 2025, I would like to thank everyone who's here tonight. You have helped shape the lives of my peers and impacted the people they are and will become. We don't tell you enough, but thank you for everything that you've done for us. I've had an incredible support system from my family members and my community. I am so thankful for my parents. They have chauffeured me to practices, events, and friends' houses. Despite the thousands of miles they drove to me, they did the most for me by raising a house built above the water. In the past weeks, we have been reminiscing about the last 4 years. We all have stories that will tell for us to our lives. Our reenactments of Romeo and Juliet and the Boston Massacre were also riveting. In chemistry, we started fires and mixed chemicals to create bioreactors. Don't worry, no one got hurt. It was all in science. We learned quickly that the best way to avoid our problems is to lock them out. Greenlaw learned quickly to take his keys with him when he left the classroom. However, that did not help me lock him in the closet. But we may not remember concepts such as the law of conservation matter or types of phrases. Our teachers taught us critical thinking skills, time management, and communication. They challenged and helped us prepare for college and life. While I'm grateful for the memories, after tonight, we will be leaving it all behind to pursue our own goals and our own dreams. As we enter the next chapter of our lives, we will be faced with tough decisions, challenges, and circumstances. The choices we make will create the people we become. As we venture into our futures, we need to find a source of strength. We do not possess the strength of our own. However, we are not hopeless. Read in Isaiah 40:31, we are told, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will not walk and not be faint." Now is our opportunity to grow and pursue our dreams, to use our God-given strength to step out of our comfort zones and find our goal in His name. Before we depart and go our separate ways, I hope I provided you with encouragement for your days to come. There will be challenges too big for you on your own. There is no challenge too big to cross. As we walk down the aisle, be thankful for the memories you have, be excited for the opportunities that lie ahead. Congratulations on your achievements, and best of luck in your future endeavors.
Teacher, mom's all